Director in charge of Employment and Wages in the Ministry of Labour and Employment, John Enemali, told the House Committee on Diaspora that the ministry has never halted the issuance of licenses to employment agencies. The Director Investigation and Monitoring at Naptip, Greg Esele, told the committee that the issuance of licenses was stopped in December 2017. The committee is investigating the issues of human trafficking, especially as it has to do with the case of Temitope Olamide, and sought to know whether the ministry stopped the issuance of labor licenses to employment agents.
And we reply in the affirmative, and in the third paragraph of that letter we said, even though we issue this letter, this recruiter license, there are procedures that he has to go through, and Naptip is aware of it. The procedure you have to go through before they can even recruit anybody outside this country. And whether they follow that procedure or not is left for Naptip to
make one final intervention so I can leave.
We do not even have a bilateral labor agreement with Lebanon. So anybody who calls himself a licensed recruiter is a fraudulent recruiter. There is no such thing. A moratorium was placed in 2018 from Nigerian government not to give anybody licenses to recruit anyone from Nigeria for unskilled labor.
The Ministry of Labour and Employment could, however, not provide concrete answers as to why a company involved in oil services was licensed as an employment agent by the ministry.
Please, we don't want to have another shouting match in the National Assembly relative to the Ministry of Labour and Productivity. I'm aware that number 2 on your list had issues, recruited and had issues with Naptip. Yes or no?
If you have no work, if you don't have any worker at all, you don't have any worker at all before you do your registration to get a recruiter's license, you have to write a letter to the Ministry of Labour for an exemption.
Chairman of the Nigeria Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabire-Rewa, told the committee that the issue of human trafficking in the country must be handled from the root, as most of those involved in trafficking often leave the country with legitimate travel document, only to end up in the hands of slave masters.
Don't give anybody visas. And then whether it's Temitope or the 24, they went to Lebanon legally. Let's get that clear. They are not illegal migrants. They get proper visas. And the visa is approved from Lebanon. So the question we should be asking ourselves here, if we really want to save these girls from further going, is where are the local partners? How do they get out of Nigeria?
She disclosed that Temitope, who is currently undergoing trial for alleged theft and attempted murder, has been granted bail and released to the Nigerian mission in Lebanon.
Court has granted her bail for now. Yes. And her case has been transferred to the Prosecution General for final judgment.